back to Red Forrest. I'm Peyton.
This is Adam.
And we're gonna have a little bit of a short topic today. Basically, talk about our times in high school and like what all we did in high school, like fun times and boring times, and just talk about our lives for those 4 years. Now, with Adam, we both were in ROTC in high school. What all did you like about ROTC?
Well, mostly got me out of class a lot. For one, got to go do a lot of stuff that I wouldn't be able to do if I didn't, basically. Kind of disciplines what that taught me a lot of. And made me lose weight.
How did you lose all that weight?
Starving myself. Not technically, it felt like I was starving.
What all did you eat? Like, what all did you eat through a day? Like, did
just
you?
3 tiny little meals. Literally just like, it was like, I think it was like 1.5 ounces of meat.
Doesn't matter what meat, or was it?
Just like hamburger chicken. And boiled. And a cup of broccoli.
Because I remember whenever you showed up and you showed up with a bag with a chicken strip in it. And it was a grilled chicken strip, but it also had it was in this liquid. It looked disgusting. What was that liquid?
Just the juice from the chicken. Yeah. It was a time. It was a time, I tell you that much.
That it is, my friend.
I cheated a lot on the diet, but still lost the weight.
Really?
Because when they came out with like the baked potatoes and everything, when they started doing that a lot.
Uh-huh.
Because at first it was only like once or twice a week they'd do the baked potatoes, and then they made it where you could choose a baked potato every day. And I like potatoes, so I kind of cheated a lot.
That's basically my weakness is potatoes. Anything like that. What all did you drink? Just water?
Green tea. Diet green tea.
Same green tea.
It was the citrus or berry flavored. It's actually pretty good. And diet zero calories, 0 carbs. But green tea is actually that's what's in most diet pills. Is green tea extract.
Why?
It increases your metabolism naturally.
Now, what did you think about the school food in high school?
Well, it was school food. Near the end, they started getting a lot better.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, it was trash. Like they just opened a can of beans and just went, pfft. There you go. There's your food. There's your food. It was just like they rationed the food a lot back then. It was like we were in the middle of like a food crisis.
This is whenever Michelle Obama was vice, but why did I say vice? First lady, and she did this whole thing about how healthy foods and rationing foods out, like you said. I would always like grab one plate if they had like chicken nuggets. I would grab one plate, throw it on, and put the other plate underneath it. It's like, it's just one, see? They eventually caught on, so they started counting the nuggets. So that's whenever you just like grab the whole plate and put on it, kind of like hide it, which ain't illegal, I don't think.
Technically, if you're just like, I want more food, they can't say, hey, no, you're not allowed to have more food.
I'm starving, my parents don't feed me.
They keep me in a cage when I get home from school.
Please just give me food.
But, at the same time, I get the whole trying to be healthier.
That was the wrong way to do it.
Yeah. Because the food they gave us wasn't healthy. It was unhealthy stuff, portioned very small.
Yeah, it's if you're going to do that, at least give like big varieties of healthy food.
Yeah. So hey, you want to give healthy food? Okay. Here's you can, and you know what? A lot of people would do it too. Hey, I'm gonna give you can have a lot of healthy food, or a tiny bit of unhealthy food. Most likely, eventually, you're gonna start choosing the lot of healthy food because it's a lot more compared to unhealthy.
I remember like for it wasn't even till like my senior year that I noticed in the corner they sold hot ham and cheese sandwiches. I was like, what?
Oh yeah.
I didn't even notice it till I was in senior year, so I was like, well, it's better late than never, I guess.
Eventually, I think they just tacked it on though. It was like a tacked on. Like they didn't plan doing it until one day the board of education was like, we should give them a choice.
Yes, we like choices. I
We should
love
give them
choices.
either they can have a cold ham and cheese sandwich, or we'll give them a hot ham and cheese sandwich.
Didn't they have like on a croissant? You could eat it on a
Mhm.
croissant too. I remember that.
My favorite food though, I don't care what you people say. I'm right, you're wrong. The breakfast pizza
Breakfast pizza. Is that the square?
in the morning, cause instead of salsa, I want tacos now. Instead of
Sauce?
pizza sauce, it was gravy
Really?
with cheese and uh usually sausage.
I never had that. Because I never really got there early enough to get breakfast.
Dude, is the bomb. It tasted really good. Same kind of dough they use on normal pizza, but it was just the fact of all of it together tasted.
Remember those beef dippers?
The beef, yeah,
Dippers. I love that.
yeah,
Those things.
those was good, especially with the mashed potatoes.
Yes.
The weird mashed potatoes that they had.
It's most likely it was instant.
Yeah,
But yeah, I liked that too. I really don't blame her for doing it because I mean, like, you're just trying to defend yourself, and
at that time I can tell you I wasn't really defending myself.
you wanted to beat the shit
I
out of
just
them.
wanted to beat the shit out of them. And I
Um,
figured best time to hit me in the bathroom.
um, there was two times in elementary school that I got in trouble for stuff I never even did. It's just like someone wanted someone to blame. I guess I was kind of the easy target. There was the one time I got in trouble with the principal saying, he went up to the teacher and said I almost broke his thumb. I didn't even talk to him that day. And I was like, I haven't even seen him. How did I do that? He was like, it's like we're gonna call your parents. I was like, for what? I didn't do anything. I was more confused than anything. And there was this other time. This girl told she was crying, and she told a teacher that I made fun of her mom being dead. Does that sound like me?
Yes, she deserved it.
Oh God.
No, like
But
that'd be a shitty thing to do if you did.
I didn't. But
Maybe you was talking about something else
I
and
was
she
wait. I didn't even
interpreted it
speak to
as,
her. I wasn't even
you know
talking.
what? You know what happened? I'd be like, well, you know what? Maybe I did. I didn't say it. But if you misunderstood me and you thought I did say it, if the shoe fits, wear it.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't say it though. But if you took it that way, good, then so be it.
What I told the teacher is like they asked me first like why did you do this? I was like, for one thing, I didn't, because I haven't even spoke to her I haven't spoke to her in about a few days because we didn't have class together. And it was like, well, she said you say it. Well, I didn't. She was like, well, we're going to give you community service.
They can't do that.
Well, they did. Uh,
It's like that's literally what a judge gives out to people. I'm gonna give you community service for saying something bad about somebody's parent that died, even though you didn't say it. I have to blame someone. I have to give somebody community service. So guess what? You're the guy.
Um, yeah, I had it in school once in high school. It was mainly boring than anything because everyone had a desk that was aimed towards the wall. You didn't have no work if you didn't get it from your classes. So if you didn't have anything, you just sit there just doing this for 7 hours.
And you weren't allowed to fall asleep either.
Can't fall asleep, no.
Well,
He'll wake you up,
in middle
but
school, whenever I got it, I didn't have no work or anything, and they's like, "Well, if you don't have no work, we'll give you some work to do." And I was like, "Okay, I'm fine with that. Give me something." And it was literally just like, what was it? It was, I think it was just like some. It was an old math book. You know the math books they had that the teacher would copy it to make
yeah.
copies out of it. It was like the curriculum, whatever. It was an older one. They just copied out of it and gave it to everybody. And I done that, and then I fell asleep, and the teacher came by and slammed on the desk, and said, "Wake up." Yeah, I was like,
I'd be more mad than anything because you
I
scared
mean,
the shit
I
out of
already don't like loud noises as it is, and me being asleep, and all of a sudden, right near my head, cause the desk wasn't that
me.
big, right near my head, just slammed that hand on the desk, told me to wake up. I was like, is this boot camp or something? Dang, I'm a child.
Yeah. Treat me as one.
I feel like teachers get by with a lot of crap. Like teachers get by with a lot of crap. Like they can just say whatever they want. It's like you're a child and you're in school. We can do what the crap. We're right, you're wrong, 24/7. Don't get me wrong. There's sometimes teachers get the bad end of the deal too,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some kids out there that are mean who deserve to get their butt beat.
Amen.
But I mean, there's all the times too that the teachers take things too far, just because they're in a bad mood one day.
Yeah, especially if you got problems. They say, "Oh, don't bring your problems from home here," but teachers will do that regardless. Like, it's like even if you want to do something wrong, it's like there's my opportunity to be a dick.
And you're like,
What?
what? I'm being forced to be here. By law, I have to come to school.
Um, there was a guy that in the class that he was bored, so he had some gorilla tape. He just did it, lifted up his shirt and like laid it right here, uh, going down. And he was a pretty hairy dude, and he just ripped it off, and then trying to get everyone to laugh because the person who was the in school teacher, he was asleep at the time.
He didn't care. He's just
He was
like, I don't care. I don't blame him.
yeah,
I'd probably be asleep too. Be like, I don't care what y'all do. Just don't leave the classroom.
yeah,
As long as you leave the classroom, I don't care. I'm going to sleep.
yeah, but because I bet you deal with so many dicks that goes in that you have to learn to just not give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really care. Those people will bell against you.
I mean, there's some, like I said, there's some teachers that get the bad end of the deal. But then there's also a lot of times there's teachers out there that take advantage as well of the fact that you're a kid. And that whatever happens, you're supposed to listen to them. I mean, it goes both ways on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like there's some teachers I've seen like a compilation of a bunch of teachers
Getting mad
getting
and
mad and stuff and screaming at students. Like some of them deserved it. Don't get me wrong. Some of them really deserved it. But there's other ones that didn't, and they got screamed at.
So other than, and was there ever a time in high school that you got screamed at from a teacher?
Not screamed at like personally.
Just in general, like the whole
Yeah,
class or
yeah, in geometry class.
um,
No.
no. Which
Was
what
it
class?
geometry? Yeah, it's got to do with a bunch of shapes and equations for the
Corner?
shapes. Huh?
Warner?
Yeah, the old lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's big.
She was crazy. There's these two guys that got in a fight, started punching the crap out of each other. Literally, one guy just tackled him across the desk and just started wailing in on his face. And she was screaming, telling him to stop. And she got on the walkie-talkie thing that all teachers had, and was telling the other teacher. A bunch of other teachers came in and pulled them off of each other, took them out. And we all was sitting there like, what's going on? Then she started screaming, saying, "Y'all shut up! Heads down on the desk right now. Heads down on the desk. I don't want to see no eyes." And we're just like, what did we even do? Like, we just sat here. They fought each other. We're just confused as much as you are, lady. She was just weird, and she looked her eyes was all like buggy and red all the time, like she didn't get no sleep. She sat there all night.
Her
There's nothing
sister
to do,
was
just
just
petting
as
a
bad.
cat in her chair.
Her sister taught history there too.
Really?
Seals.
I never.
Never had her.
I only had history class once,
Really?
and that was with Lamb.
Oh.
Cause in RTC it took place as some history.
Oh yeah, that is true.
I remember economics class.
Is that what we had to get? No, economics was Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, right near the art class.
I had it with Gabe, and one day he was sitting there, he's like, I don't want to be here. We just stood up, walked out, went to the gym, started playing basketball. And Davis didn't know until like 2 minutes. He was like, "Where's Gabe?" He's like, "He went to the gym." He's like, "Yes, son of a bitch."
He didn't care.
Yeah.
He did not care. He didn't have a filter
Yeah.
at all. He didn't care at all. He didn't. Most of the time though, he was nice. Like he just wanted you to do your work.
He talks slow.
Yeah. He just wanted you to do your work, and that's it. And he didn't care. One time, he fussed at me one time. Didn't scream. He more or less just did the like, hey, don't do that type thing, because I was sitting at the desk, about half my butt in the desk and half my butt out, kind of like balancing, and he kind of fussed at me, said that could hurt me.
How?
Like the desk could fall and everything, but that was about it. But for the most part, he was nice. He just wanted you to do your work. And
you ever had Heron? Say hunter safety? Really?
I had it in volunteer.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where I had that one, and I passed. I done it. There's only like a month left, and now they do like the test at the end.
Mm-hmm.
He literally let people take a whole piece of paper, front and back, and write answers out, like questions and answers and everything out, and nobody did it except for me.
Did you actually shoot? We actually shot.
Yeah, he didn't. They didn't do no shooting. It was at the very end, and I just took the test and I was like, and it was the exact same questions and answers, and I made 100. I was the only one. The next person made like a 68.
Really?
Yeah, I was the only one who made 100, and everybody else practically failed the class.
Well, how we did it, we did you got different gun parts, and
which is cool that they teach that. Like, I mean, guns is a big part of America anyways, so it's good to teach kids.
They'll probably be out in school within 5 years.
I could see that. I could see.
They're teaching these kids how to shoot.
Yeah, the right way.
Like, regardless, it's not rocket science. You can figure out how to shoot a gun by looking on a YouTube video of it.
You can, just by looking at a gun, you can see.
Right here.
Without no ammo in it, you pull the trigger, and you literally see the hammer go, if it's one that's on the outside, or if it's on the inside, and you hear
that click.
click. You know that click means it's hitting something. and you know, oh, if I put a bullet in there and I squeeze this and it's pointed this way, it's going to kill. It's going to shoot somebody.
But
So it's
after
common sense.
a lot of people like it.
Yes.
But we went and did the guns. Then after we shot and everything, that was done with that. Then we did rope. Like we did like different kinds of knots and stuff with the rope. Everyone got a piece of rope and everyone practice your knots and you do it. Show me them. Alright, you did good. And that was actually pretty fun to actually learn different kinds of knots for like
Different and different knots are used for different things,
Mhm.
anyways.
So that was a pretty cool aspect. Now, um, tell me about tell me about you like your time with like military ball and prom and stuff like tell me your first experience when it came to prom.
My first prom was freshman year.
Really?
My only year.
That's the only year you went? Well, was it a good experience?
It was an okay experience. Like, I mean, I was like one of the only freshmen there.
Did you know anyone there?
Not at the time. It was just this. It was this junior girl that was a junior. Was like just asked me if I wanted to go because she didn't have no date or anything. And I was like, yeah, sure.
What'd you wear?
It was a red button up, black pants, black vest, and black slacks. That's about it.
You didn't wear a tie?
Yes, a black tie. So it was just red and black. But it was just went and only stayed for like an hour or two.
Really?
Yeah,
Um,
and that's it. Went home.
it was still in Kingsport, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Um, like I've been to prom twice. 1 year on my senior year, 1 year after my ex was still in high school. Year apart.
It sounded bad at first.
Yeah, I know, that's why I had to
When my
specify.
ex was still in high school.
Now, my first prom was pretty bad experience. Um, like, because we originally went to military ball together, then we went to prom, and we kind of like going through like this thing of not knowing where we was at in a relationship kind of thing. So it started out with so she, her mother wanted to take pictures of us. She didn't want to do it. Or red flag, right there. Second red flag. I had to get gas. So after we picked up everyone, I got gas. She gets out of the vehicle, gets in a truck with another guy for a few minutes. Then she gets back in. Red flag number 2.
That was the biggest one right there.
Yeah.
I understand the camera thing. Maybe she's just shy, but the getting a truck with another guy, I'd be like,
Something's not right.
I can't put my finger on it, but I don't think, huh?
But then um okay, so we went out and ate, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have a good time. Ain't no point of like whining and bitching and moaning about it. It is what it is, whatever. Just enjoy the night. And so we went out to eat. That was fine, pretty good. Then we went there, walked in, sat down. We took this big picture of all of us. Then she gets up and sits on the opposite side of the table and was on her phone the whole time until her phone died. And like the whole time, Dusty, being Dusty, tried to get me. Is like, get up, man, we're gonna party. Then we were like was singing and stuff like that, and then we're like, you know what? I don't even care. Screw this night. So we leave, and on the way home. Sorry, we had technical difficulties. But But the icing on the cake is like whenever my car overheated, then the windshield wiper broke, and I said, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. It's because I don't know, it just came out, and everyone stayed silent, but me and we managed to get the car to town by putting water in it. And then the next day, me and Gary had a drill meet in Dobbins Bennett, so we had to, that's about, how far is that, like 45 to an hour? And so basically, we drove there and around Kingsport, my radiator reservoir blew. So we stopped about every like 15 minutes to fill it up with water, which probably wasn't smart, but just to keep trying to run it. But it was kind of like our only way of doing it. But whenever we get so I had to like pull over and had to see EXO pick me and Gary up, and when we got there, Warrant tells me, he's like, oh, you're not leading the color guard anymore.
I've been pissed.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy because that was the only reason why I was there. If I wouldn't even need to come if I wasn't doing that. And I was like, why was I not told this? He was like, well, Jesse was supposed to tell you. And I was like, he did nothing. And he was like, Harold, come here. He was like, you didn't tell him? It's like, oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. He's like, his car like, radiator blew on the way here because you didn't tell him. He really just pushed the blame on Jesse. He kind of he like hid in the corner, like he did it.
I mean, at that point though, well, I don't blame him for doing.
Yeah.
I get frustrated.
I went off on Jesse right in front of Warrant, and he didn't say anything. I probably shouldn't have went off on Jesse because it's technically not his fault. It's just I was just mad about the whole situation because I literally served no purpose of being there because they took it away from me the day of. Because we were doing good. We were training and everything. But because I actually was wanted you to be on, but you weren't in my class at the time, and I think you were leading unarmed.
I was.
Yeah.
But then, when that whole breakup, and I missed 2 weeks of school, they took me off.
That bother you? Or do you understand?
I mean, I understood, but I still helped train. He kept me on to help train because everybody else wanted me back on there, and Warrant said no, and people threatened to quit from it. And then he said, well, Adam can help train, but he's not going to lead you.
Because who led you? Hazen?
Yeah, she decided they chose her, which I understood it because I was out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't blame them for you, and you want somebody to lead that you've been training with, anyways. And for 2 weeks I wasn't there, so I mean, I understood, but I didn't do anything at the drill meet. I simply was just standing there, and I got to stand on the side.
There's my people.
I got to stand on the side.
Really?
Where like weren't everybody else was standing when they done the unarmed thing. I was there and I was able to watch them.
Well, at least you got to do that. Like I love. Chief was, I believe, like more honest whenever it came to things like even
Asshole, but honest.
Asshole, but honest. Like you respect him,
Mm-hmm.
and I still respect him to this day. Like you, how long has it been since you saw him?
Yeah, well, I think the last time I seen him was in his Porsche that he has. It was when me, you, and Dakota,
Oh yeah, when we were headed
when we was
back
coming
from.
back from the cabin,
Yeah.
and we seen Chief just zooming by just real fast, having the time of his life. I mean, you think that was the last time? And I mean, of course, when he sent the friend request on Facebook, pretty sure just to give me a like his
Campaign
campaign and stuff.
for congressman.
Didn't he win?
Yeah, I was like, good for you, Chief.
Dude, him.
Thing about it
Goes
is, I
from being
think
in
you
the Navy to teaching a bunch of high school students.
to now become he's probably gonna try to be president one day.
I'd vote for him.
I probably would too.
An honest asshole.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. I'll vote for him. I'll be like, you know what, Chief? Remember me. When you're up there, remember me. Give me a break on my taxes. 1 year, please. Give me a bunch of tax breaks.
What was the thing you disliked the most about high school?
Which it really wasn't high school itself, but it just didn't have friends that much. Didn't have that many friends till the end.
I didn't really until ROTC. That really helped me get out of my shell.
I mean, I wasn't even in ROTC. I really didn't have that many friends. Things kind of went downhill for me after the whole breakup. Because people liked her more than they liked me.
Well, I never liked her.
I mean, understandable. But a lot of people liked her more than me, so they kind of took up for her.
There's always two sides to something, and a lot of times, like the the victim that plays the victim a lot usually gets more people to be on their side, even though they don't know exactly what went on.
I mean, it sucked, but I mean, at the same time, there was really nothing that could be done. I mean, it was by the end of it, it was kind of like, hey, I don't care anymore. I wasn't a people's person in high school. One thing that was just going on in life and everything, but two, I kind of had all that hate in my heart for people that was able to do all these trips and everything like that in RTC. Because without Chief, I wouldn't have went on the RTC trips.
And that's nice of him. He knew your.
Because I didn't have the money at all for any of it. And he.
Tell what remember tell that story about the wallet.
The what?
His
Oh,
wallet.
the wallet. Oh yeah, the time that was that I drove me after drill meet, we got food at a Mexican restaurant, and he asked everybody, he goes, everybody got meat to eat on, and about that, and I didn't say nothing. He goes, shipmate, you got meat to eat on? And I said, no, chief, but I'm fine. He goes, deep breath, takes out his wallet, undoes the rubber bands because his wallet's about to explode with money. Just huffing and puffing. And I was like, oh, I'm good, chief. I'm not hungry. I'm fine. He goes, no, shipmate. Is $20 enough? And I was like, yes, chief. I said, I'm fine. I'm not hungry. He goes, I'll take it. And put the rubber bands and just huffed and puffed the whole time. He goes, no, get. Just like, I didn't ask for your money. And you're huffing and puffing like I was asking for your money.
It goes back to the he's a nice asshole.
Yeah.
I
feel like he has a conscience.
Mm,
I feel like the whole asshole thing is probably a cover.
yeah.
Because on the inside, like he's like, you know when you do something mean or whatever, you're like, damn it, that was mean, and you feel bad, and you're like, I better go apologize, and all that kind of stuff. Like that was shitty of me. That's basically, I feel like he has that kind of thing. Like he's an asshole, and he's like, like me, he's like, just take it. I'm being nice, okay? Just take the money. You're making me mad by saying no.
There was one time that you know how Warren and Chief both had their pictures on the website saying what they did in the Navy and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And warrants is this big thing, and someone asked, is like, one day is like, what'd you do in the Navy, Chief? And he was like, you can read on it on the school website. Literally all his says is his information is classified. Like warrants is this big old list of things, Chief. This stuff is classified or stuff like that. And
I wouldn't doubt it. Like I feel like Chief probably he's one of those people. He's probably done some stuff that he can't talk about.
he definitely looks like it.
Yeah, like it looks like he's done some stuff that he can't talk about. But he's such a nice guy. But I feel like everything he's probably done has made him into an asshole. But he still has a conscience. Probably all the assassinations he's probably done. Just imagine Chief of all people assassinating.
It's weird. I could sort of see
Yeah,
that.
I could too. Just
Young in
picturing
his
it, I could
prime
see
and
him.
stuff like that. Yeah. It turns out he was a SEAL, and we didn't even know it.
So, damn, that's why Chief could keep up. Chief could keep up. Surprised me. He could keep up. Like he kind of was a chunky boy. He you could see he had muscle.
Hmm.
He had some muscle, but he's kind of was a chunky boy at the same time. Like he had a belly going like a beer gut,
Yeah.
kinda on him. So I mean, maybe all that was just a decoy. Maybe in reality he's got abs and freaking muscular like crap.
Python's arms.
Yeah, just full on to all that other thing was like a bodysuit. Trying to find out he was
Turns out it's a bulletproof vest the whole time. He's like, I'm always prepared.
it's like, whoa, you're in a school, Chief. Doesn't
Yes.
matter.
I'm always prepared.
There's midgets out there too that's trying to kill me from Russia. What? Yeah, they'll disguise themselves as children.
Um, is there anything that you regret about high school?
Hmm?
Anything you regret about high school?
Not leaving sooner. No, I'm just kidding. No. I'm staying. I mean, I graduated early. I graduated 6 months early, so if I stayed, it'd probably been best.
I don't think I would change anything.
I mean, if you change stuff, then outcomes will be different.
Yeah. You learn from everything that you do throughout your high school and your life. And if you regret those things, you don't never learn, so you never become the person you're meant to be.
Mm. I can understand that. I mean, I think there's things that everybody regrets. I mean, with high school, there ain't too many things I regret just by graduating early. 'Cause I think that kind of ruined me a little bit.
Yeah.
Didn't have nothing to do after high school. So, I mean,
Anything you want to end on, sir?
Bigfoot believes in you. You should believe in him.
I think you've done that since the first episode. First or second episode.
Yes, because he does. The more people that believe in him, the stronger he'll get.
The more.
And then next you know what, Bigfoot is president.
Thing about it is that Bigfoot had a YouTube, and he was listening. He's like, this person believes in me.
Yes. And he at first he was a drunk Bigfoot. He drunk all the time. Nobody believes in me anymore. Drinking Bud Light, sitting there just drunk all the time, Mr. Drunky. And then next you know, all of a sudden he's drunk, and all of a sudden he's on YouTube from the man he killed. Has his phone. Before it runs out of battery, he was looking on YouTube. He has to kill people to get their phones. Sometimes he's stolen, but he's on there. This guy believes in me. You know what? I'm no longer killing anybody. And that Bud Light, I'm no longer drinking it.
The guy, then you see another guy with a 12 pack just coming in. Damn it! After this one.
After this one, I'll stop. What?
Well, once again, we appreciate you watching and listening. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts at, thank you so much for listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you for watching. I'm Peyton.
This is Adam.
Have a good night.